Hello. Hello. Do. Hey, everybody, it's me, it's Andy, Decade. Andy here. It's been a while since we've done a proper news show, isn't it? Obviously, this is pre-Moonbase 2, but welcome. I'll have to say it again when the proper recording starts. Welcome to 2025. I almost said 24. It's 2025. Welcome. Hello. Hope it's been treating you well for these past 5 days so far. Only, 360 more? And then it's 2026. Woo! Let's go. There's not a huge amount of news to catch up on, because we are basically catching up on most of December, I think, right? Because we did the two, well, at least, I guess like 2-3 weeks worth. Yeah, that'll be all of December, because we did the 2 weeks worth of the Cybertron toys with Big D. We've got us joined by video gaming experts, Astro Train and Blitzwing, and Rumble or Frenzy, depending on your preference, just spinning around in space, having a good old time. They're enjoying the Christmas gifts. What can you do? Anyway, hope you've all been doing well, but I suppose I should get on with the pooping of the cast. Yeah, why not, right? Why not? Okay, I'm going to play the music, and then we can get on with the show. Let's go.
Welcome to Moonbase 2.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Moonbase 2 podcast. My name is Andy, Decade Andy. I'm here alone on the moon in the year 2025. Welcome! I hope you all had a good, safe, and fun Christmas and New Year's Day, 5 days that we've been through the New Year's. I hope you've had a good time. We're going to be catching, I've already mentioned this on the pre-stream stuff, but I'll say it again for you at home listening to the Poopcast. We'll be covering effectively 3 weeks worth of news. Not that there's that much, obviously, because last 2 weeks, last week we weren't here, I wasn't here, and the 2 weeks before that we had the Cybertron show, so... And 2 weeks of news, is there a lot? Not really, but we'll have a good old time talking about it anyway, won't we? Of course we will. Hopefully we will, and I hope you have all had a good time as well. We're going to start off with the QQT02 Core Class Devastator renders. Now, I don't remember what the QQT01 was meant to be. I'm guessing another set of the Devastator crew here, the Constructicons. I couldn't think of the name. We have renders. We have renders of Bone Crusher and Scavenger in their alt modes. And the robot modes. They're still early renders, and they will be updated in the future via some Baidu. Via Baidu, we have additional information of this project. Each figure is planned for core class scale, so each bot will be about 8.5 to 8. Hang on. Each bot will be 8.5 and 8.5 centimeters tall. So each bot will be about 8.5 and 8.5 centimeters. Okay, so someone's fucked up here when writing this. And 18 centimeters tall once all combined into Devastator. So we can have a look at the images. Welcome, Big D. How you doing, Big D? Oh, Big D, do you want to jump onto the show and talk about news? Let me know. Let me know if you do. We can have you jump on late addition to the show, Big D. You'll need to wait for the stream to catch up to be able to hear that, though, I suppose. So we can. I'll wait for you to throw in a chat thing, and if you say yes, I'll ring you. So we have the two renders of Bone Crusher and Scavenger. It's hard to get a good read on the faces and whatnot, but if these are core class figures, which they're touted to be, they look, reasonable, I'd say, and I can't say I'm against the scale. It's hard to tell if they have knee joints. I think there's a little dot on the inside of their thighs, which I think probably indicates a joint, but it's not super obvious. I'm going to assume it probably is the case. Yeah, if you look at the vehicle modes, there's a little gouge in one of the treads as well, so it looks like there is mobility in the legs, which is good. Excavator for Scavenger is a little bit flat and rectangular, I suppose. But I think for the most part, it looks okay, right? That doesn't look too bad. Oh, hang on. Big D, you should message me on the chat window. Hang on, folks. I think Big D has sent a message. Let me check. Da-da-da. Okay, he did say hit me up. Okay. Da-da-da. Da-da-da-da-da. Might need to retune this in. Hey, Big D. Oh, he's not here yet. I'm ringing him. Hello, Big D.
Evening.
How's it going?
It's going all right. How's things with you?
Not too bad, thanks. Late addition to the show, Big D, everybody. Happy New Year, Christmas, and all that jazz, Big D.
Thanks, man. Likewise.
Yeah.
Howdy, folks.
You can hang out next to Astro Train and Blitzwing playing the video games.
Perfect.
Yeah. So what do you?
I can judge them.
You can. They'll be playing. Oh god, what do kids play? Flappy Bird. They play Flappy Birds. Yeah. Yeah. That was a thing kids did at one point. I don't know if they're still Flappy Birds. I don't think they do. What do you think of the QQT Transformers then that you see on the screen at the moment?
I think they're what? They're core class, right?
Yeah, apparently. I'll send you all the stories as well.
I like what I'm seeing. I mean, core class for combiners is always a bit of a tricky one because there's so much less space to work with. But yeah, I'm actually kind of liking that.
I think the only issue I have, granted I've had to take it off screen while I send you the stories, is it's a little hard to see the detail on the face just because, the CG renders and the camera's quite far out. I'm sure they're probably fine.
Yeah.
But to me, which one is it? Scavenger's face doesn't read as having like his weird, how he had that weird mouth. He had the big cube instead of a mouth. It looks like he's just got a normal face, which is fine. And like I say, I'm sure it's just because of the render, but it looks a little bit odd, I think, at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I'm down for
I mean,
someone
renders
doing
are always a
something
bit tricky to get us.
I think it's just lighting and whatnot. It's one of these things that I appreciate what they're doing. It's not Micromaster scale. It's the Legend scale. We do have a few companies doing Legend scales, and I'm sure they'd argue that this is different because this is core class, and it's like Legend and core class. It's the same scale. It's just if you compare these to like Iron Factory, they're obviously not as intricate, and I think that's deliberate. I'm guessing core class means complexity as well in these, right?
Yeah, that'd be my assumption. I mean, it's kind of. I mean, when you get your Iron Factories of the world, they got their engineering kind of cued in, and they know what they're going for, and get to shift to when you say Legends and Core, people do think two very different things about those two classes.
They do now, yeah, definitely at this point.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: how much do you think these will cost? Because if you want an Iron Factories figure, they're about £26, I think, on Shozi.
Yeah, I mean, as a rule, Iron Factory, when I've looked them up online, depending on which one it is, I mean, I expect anywhere between 25 for like the baseline sort of figures, like an Autobot car type character.
Yeah.
And then going on up, depending on. I mean, I've seen a few that have gone over $100 mark, but they're kind of like the real.
Is that not more on the after sale?
That possibly as well, but you do get some of your Iron Factory stuff that does go quite high at scale, but you get what you pay for with Iron Factory. I find they do offer a quite attractive bracket of what you're getting. So
let's check on Shozi the past ones. Okay. Right, okay, yeah. The Iron Factory City Commander, which was their big Ultra Magnus, was $84.99, which I don't know what that is in real money. So that one's quite expensive, I'll grant you. I don't think I've seen any in the hundreds. And the Tarn and the two other dudes from the DJD Combiner team, they're about $60 each, mostly.
I think the Optimus Prime that came with Elita 1 normally goes for over 100 now.
Now that'll be out of circulation now. I don't think that's how much they were originally, but I would hope, because there's two of them, these would be priced similar to the Breast Force, which are, like I say, about The 39.99 for Hellbat, who's coming soon apparently. So that's why I'd hope maybe, since there's two of them, but there's less engineering, I'd hope maybe about $50 for two of them.
Yeah, I mean that sounds about right to my mind. Yeah,
that would be okay. My trouble would be if they start pushing up the numbers and it's like, there's two figures. It's like, but the less engineering. So it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see at the very least. And speaking of QQT, QQT have shown off or given first renders of the Core Class Combiner figure for Predaking. They've shown off most of the team in CG renders, and there are a couple here in very, very basic, I'm just off the 3D printer kind of look to them. I'll read the blurb as well, and we can talk about the figures. So the renders reveal very cartoon accurate, which is the style of the time at the moment, as well as wearing an onion on your belt. Predaking and Predacons robot modes. The image shows that they may be compatible with the QQT Constructicons. That's cool. That's neat. I wonder how that'll work. Yeah. This means each bot should be 8.5 and 8. Why did they do it again? 8.5 and 8.5 centimeters tall. What does that mean? Am I stupid, Big D? 8.5 and 8.5.
Random.
Is that not redundant? Am I stupid?
No, I think someone at the TFW on the editing team has kind of gotten themselves confused.
But they've done it twice. They did it with the Constructicon story as well. That's why I'm even more confused.
Maybe if it meant it should be between 8 and 8.5.
That would make sense.
Kind of. That is diddly, though. My.
Core class. And again, the Predaking, I guess, will be also 18 centimeters tall when combined, which is what you would hope. As was announced for Devastator and the Constructicon, some images show a swoop prototype revealing compatibility. A swoop prototype. We'll have to have a look at that. Compatibility with the Legacy Unite Core Class Dino King, which I should hopefully still be getting my Japanese one at some point in the near future. That's what I'm hoping.
Yes, fingers crossed on that one for me as well.
When's Japan meant to be getting Dino King? March?
I think it's not. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm pretty sure I put a pre-order in for the DNA set here as well. Which, hopefully. So we've got the CG renders of Predaking. They only have 4 of the team, oddly enough, shown in the renders. They've got Hardhead, Tantrum. Is it Hardhead? Headstrong.
Headstrong, Tantrum, Dive Bomb, and Razor Claw.
Yeah. So we're missing 2 of them.
No Is it Rampage?
Rampage, yes. That's it. That's the only one they haven't shown, right? Yes, because it's 5. I'm stupid. They're only missing off Rampage for some reason, which is odd.
Yeah, everyone always, because MMC threw in Catilla, everyone can get confused now with adding him in, which I find hilarious.
Be a fun story. One thing about Headstrong is it doesn't look like he's got a robot face, at least in the CG renders at the moment. Right? I don't see it. Interesting. I think that must be just a fuck up, right?
Yeah, I suspect that's just them still I mean, you can kind of see where something splits at the bottom of the beast mode head.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that should. Yeah.
There'll be something that's meant to be there, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean it's CG renders. It's still early days.
It's just it's just kind of funny to see.
It is.
Dive Bomb clearly has a really big wingspan, but he'd have to, so he has the big wingspan for Predaking. Oh, look at that! Razor Claw has ankle tilts as well, or will have ankle tilts.
Yeah, I saw that. That's quite nice.
That's neat. I like I think the image of Scavenger and Bone Crusher as arms for Predaking actually looks kind of neat. To be honest.
It does. And also quite unexpected, because you don't normally see these two teams getting their parts mixed up with anyone, let alone each other. So,
I mean, I don't think. I think maybe the legs might be compatible as well, but you're not. Obviously, the torso parts for like. Devastator, words escape me. Devastator aren't obviously going to be compatible with Predaking, I would imagine.
No, but if you can do stuff with the limbs, that's going to be fun.
I hope so. It's neat that the arms can do it. I hope the legs can as well, because it'd be quite fun.
I mean, it's one of those pictures. It looks very much like they've used more Stunticon and breakdown and swindle.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Yeah,
Except they're clearly super duper early CG renders for them.
No, but you know what? If they're planning on doing a whole bunch of combiner teams that are cross-compatible in a way far more so than we've seen in the past, where it's just been the Scramble City guys and every other combiner is kind of off on their lonesome. That's actually kind of cool. It gives them their own unique hook, you know?
Yeah. Do you want to do a bit of role play here, Big D?
Oh.
Okay, you're going to be QQT, right? I'm going to sell you an idea, right?
Well, I mean, they've already got rendered up an idea for doing a centaur, so you're gonna have to go some here.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I think QTT, you should in fact also do a Triptychon figure. Now, don't worry, we're going to get to the interesting part just now. What you should do from that point is do an upgrade set for all of your combiner teams, the Decepticon ones you've just done, and Triptychon, and do the Generals set upgrade kit from the One Zone episode. Because no one's ever done that. No one's ever done it. And if you have this weird upgrade kit that upgrades every single one of them and gives them the stupid cape and the weird heads and all that jazz... And you, obviously, because you do a limited number, because how many people would actually want it? You do a small amount, small run, and if it does really well, you could do a second run. I think that would be really fun. What do you think?
I must admit that actually does sound quite fun.
Yeah, because clearly they're doing Devastator, they're doing Predaking. We know that they've shown off Swindle. They're doing Bruticus. They're doing Menasor. We're already getting there for most of the generals at this point. I can't remember who else was part of that general team apart from Triptychon. Who else was there?
Oh, I can't remember now.
Was Overlord part of it? I don't think he was. I don't think he was.
Part of me wants to say he was, but also that could just be me filling in blanks, because part of me remembers it being a bit of a greatest hits of Decepticon bosses, and also thrown in a bunch of combiners who...
Well, they also died in like 3 seconds as well.
There is that.
Zone was such a weird... I don't know what they were doing with Zone. I have no idea what the concept for that show was.
As much as they could with the money they had, which is clearly...
Not much.
Not much.
Well, I think the animation wasn't too bad. It just didn't go anywhere. So strange. But yeah, you mentioned that they have the Centaur mode, which is it's a neat idea. I don't know... Like, the only thing I can think of is unless you do two unique things, you either do one, you do links from Skylinks and have that compatible, or you make that stupid giant Sphinx bird thing from that one episode from season 3, if you remember that, or was it season 2? That's the only thing I can think of, because otherwise this is unless you could just go do your own completely unique thing, which I'm also down with.
Yeah. I'm intrigued either way. I'm curious to see what they do, because it seems like they've got an abundance of ideas.
Yeah. Oh, and it is a swoop that they've made for Dino King, or shown off with Dino King, and I don't know why.
That's interesting.
No, that's not swoop. That's dive bomb.
Oh.
Yeah. If you look at the render, you can see how the head is the same.
Yeah.
I don't know why they called it swoop. It looks like dive bomb. Oh, but the wings on the back of Predaking, right? Sorry, on Dino King. Those are different wings.
They do look like different wings, yeah.
Because Dino King doesn't have any, yeah. So maybe it is a swoop figure. Oh.
Huh.
But maybe it is just Dive Bomb, because they do show off a physical render of Dive Bomb as well. Next to Core Class Megatron. I don't know which one. I don't know which one. I don't recognize that. Maybe is that another company's? Maybe that's theirs. I don't know.
Maybe.
On the desk as well is a New Age Optimus Prime figure, and in the background, falling over, is Core Class of Legends Bombshell from Combiner Wars, who's just drunk.
Oh,
poor guy. Who's the Optimus Prime figure in the background of the last render image of Dive Bomb or Swoop, I suppose? It's an Optimus Prime, but I kind of recognize it, but I don't at the same time.
That looks like one of those quick change ones almost.
Yeah, kind of. I'm not
The
sure.
main line.
Also looks like a little satchel from McDonald's, a sauce from McDonald's as well on that desk.
Yes.
And a ton of batteries. But yeah, I think this is interesting. I'm glad to see they've got multiple projects going or multiple ideas, but hopefully we'll start seeing physical stuff from them soon to get a better idea of, what the actual product's going to be. Because it's nice to talk about things coming in the future, but especially from a new company. But I want to see a real thing from them first.
Absolutely.
Right. And I want to see price. Those are the two
Yes.
things I want to see. That's neat. I'm down with this.
Yeah.
We were talking about Iron Factory. Well, there's Iron Warrior, the IW08. These are large, high-end scaled third-party action figures, posable action figures. They're all Transformers Prime, and the IW-08 is Transformers Prime Bumblebee. I'll read the blurb. It's obviously a non-transforming action figure Transformers Prime Bumblebee, featuring a complete cartoon accurate design, a wide range of posability, LED lights, and die-cast parts. This figure is in scale with Leader, Transformers Optimus Prime action figure, which is no shock, but we do have images of it. And yeah, they've got this down. It looks like B, and it's half the size of Prime, which is correct.
Yes.
He has his little hand blasters. It does look a little bit awkward because you just pop clearly pop the hands out of the ball joints. And they're just little holes there. And it's not a big deal, but it is like okay. It might be nice for a little filler part or something, just to cover the hole. Maybe there will be. Can you tell if the hands are posable or if they're just replaceable hands? I think they're just replaceable, right?
Yeah, they look like a little too thin to be posable, to be fair.
They are very thin.
Yeah.
Very thin. Like I'd almost say concerningly thin. Like if he falls, his hands might break, I think.
Yeah.
That might be fine though. I think they try and show the LED action in the 9th image. I'm guessing the suggestion is his eyes will light up, and then the barrels of his gun hands look like they were probably meant to light up as well. What do you think of this, Big D?
I actually quite like it, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's nice to see Prime getting a bit of love from the third-party community. Or is this an official thing, or is it?
No. This is third
this
party.
is unofficial.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
but it's nice to see Prime getting that rub.
Yeah, there's been very little Prime stuff. I think it's because the design's so hard, and it's not G1, therefore get fucked generally. So in terms of Iron Warrior stuff, there's not a huge amount. I think they've done Megatron, and maybe they've only done Prime. Maybe this is the second release, because in their back catalog they've done Nemesis Prime, another version of Optimus Prime, the first version of Optimus Prime from Prime they did, and some movie figures which were Ratchet, Strife, who was Brawl / Devastator.
Okay.
And the jet-powered armor Optimus Prime as well. If they've done any more shows, you don't have them listed at least. So I think the one that most people would probably want the most is Knockout, because there is still no decent Knockout figure, because the closest we got was what was it, Red Line?
I think so,
called?
yeah.
And I'm assuming, and tell me if I'm being silly, I'm assuming that line is dead.
I believe so. Much like the Super 7 line.
Oh, yeah, we haven't heard about that for ages either.
No, although I do from time to time see some of the figures going for sort of clearance prices. It makes me wish I had enough spare to grab one, so I quite want their bludgeon. But
I hear they're not great, though. Like, Super 7 seems to be a really strange company in terms of QC control.
Yeah, but just to have that version of Pretender Shell with all the gubbins would have been nice, but yeah. But yeah, it's one of those things. Non-transforming Transformers is kind of a bit of a non sequitur. It's been like that right the way back to Action Masters. But sometimes to see a company, do it right, so they've gone all in to make it look a really nice figure, and that's what this is. This looks great.
Mm.
It looks like B. I'm a bit hesitant about how the LED effects are going to work.
Yeah,
To be fair.
what do you mean in terms of how they operate? You mean how good they are? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, a bit of both of those, to be fair.
Yeah.
And that does seem like it. Because I was looking at us seeing the prices that shows he had for the previous stuff, and I was like, "Ooh,
Yeah, they're not cheap.
they're not cheap." But it does seem to be a case where they have put the money into to give you a nice looking product.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree.
It's definitely the collectible bracket, but nice collectible,
Yeah, they feel similar to like 3-0 and stuff like that, but 3-0 do the movie line figures. So it's nice that someone else has done something a little bit different.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to see what they do for the rest of Prime line. To be fair, if these are their first two examples, then crack on, lads.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how, because it feels like it's been a while since the Prime came out, so I wouldn't expect their Prime stuff to be done anytime soon. Like, I don't think even within the next 5 years we'll have the full line, to be honest. I might be wrong, though. Might be wrong. But yeah, B looks nice. We'll probably get at least one recolor for him for his Season 3 reverse color scheme, where he's black and yellow instead of yellow and black, which I'm fine with. But we can move on to the DNA designs. We talked about them earlier. We're going to talk about them again. DNA designs are doing an upgrade kit for the TF1 Optimus Prime and Megatron DK62 kit. I feel that we talked about this before, didn't we?
I think we have done, yeah. And I think this is just for...
Is this an update? Oh, I think it's an update.
Yeah, they've added an additional version of the axe as a bonus.
Okay. I was like, hang on, what the heck? Yeah, so this is a pre-order date is up now. It's the 3rd of January. It's coming out March of this year as well. Good news.
And they've given him some sassy hands for Prime.
Yeah, I was about to say, the good news is we've added an Energon's axe and 2 sets of stylized hands. The bad news, since these accessories were not part of the original plan, they cannot be fully stored on the stand. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. I wouldn't say that's a big inconvenience. Maybe mildly annoying, but that's fine. Oh, yeah, he's the stylized hands consist of a standard I'm pointing at you aggressively, or who shit on the floor, and then a flipping the bird finger as well, which is quite fun,
It is. I like a bit of fun with stuff like this. So
yeah, I mean, granted, I don't remember him. Did he flip the bird in Transformers 1? I don't remember.
I think he went to at least once, but you never saw him carry through.
Yeah, I was going to say
it was blocked out.
Yeah, that makes more sense because I think they got swear word in. I don't think they would have been able to use like a birdie as well. Do you have either of these? Do you have either of these two figures, Big D?
I don't, and I must admit, I've been toying with picking up the Prime at some because word of mouth has been generally quite positive about it. I was just a bit burned after the Gamer Series Prime.
Oh, yeah.
To be honest.
But, yeah, no, I understand that.
But no, this one generally, I've not been able to grab as many Transformers recently as I'd like to. But if I see one in Smith's, I might pick it up just because it does actually look quite nice. I'm
still waiting for some of those things to go on sale. I'm still waiting for animated Motormaster to go on sale. I'm still waiting for Cybertron Hotshot to go on sale. Studio Series Prime to go on sale. 86 Prime to go on sale. Silverbolt is still only 25 quid. I'm like, that thing's been out for ages. How has it not dropped in price yet? Any further?
I mean, 86 Prime, Hasbro only just restocked it on Pulse, and I think that was in the States. So.
Yeah. I don't expect it to drop in price anytime soon.
No, that thing has sold stonkingly well.
It's a good figure, and it's Optimus Prime, so it's no real surprise. But I ain't paying £91 for it.
That is a bit of an eye-watering.
No way. You can suck a sausage. That ain't happening with Andy. No, thank you. But what do you think of this upgrade kit, Big D? Are you tempted by it? I mean, if you're going to get the Optimus Prime, would you get this, or would you get this and the Megatron? Or would you think this is skippable?
if I picked up Megatron as well,
Mhm.
then this I think it would be a dead cert to pick up because it does look like it does. It gives you a few quality of life improvements for both, which
Yeah.
is nice. If I only had for one, I'd probably give it a miss because, well, depending on the price of the kit, because DNA sometimes their pricing can be a bit all over the
Wonky.
place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. If it's priced right, I might pick it up even if I just have Prime because it
Mhm.
does have some nice bits for him.
It's
And
a
the
lot
Megatron,
of it's for Prime, it seems.
yeah, and the Megatron stuff I can always just store till I eventually pick him up. So,
Hmm.
and
Yeah,
it's handy to have.
Megatron's actually got very little here, I would say.
I mean, he's got new hips, I think. Is
Yeah,
that
he's
right?
got new hips, one set of hands. The rest of them look like they're colored for Prime. New
And the
fusion
rest of his
cannon and
heads
a
and
little
guns.
machine gun.
Hmm.
I think when I say there's not much for Megatron, I mean in comparison to Prime. This seems to be
Yeah,
mostly a
yeah,
Prime kit with then some
Hmm.
small Megatron bits added on there as well.
yeah. But I mean, I do like how DNA do this, where if they don't have enough really to justify, it's one of those things where you have to kind of justify the expense of the tooling and the
Yeah.
production run. So they do it quite a lot. We've seen it for years now with mixing kits for multiple figures. So they did it for a load of the Beast Wars figures. They've done it for a bunch of I think they did it for a bunch of the Studio Series guys. I could be wrong on that one, so please tell me if I'm wrong on that score. They did it for that kit for Silverbolt and Tigerhawk, which I found brilliant, frankly.
Yeah.
It does so much for those two figures. But it is a nice way of getting the parts out in a way that, honestly, a lot of people will have all the figures in a set that they're doing a pack for, because they are quite canny in that regard. It's not just random figures they're thrown in a set together.
Yeah.
And they do, it does feel like they are taking care. They are looking, they're not going for the easy cash grab. They are thinking of what is a good quality of life improvement for these figures.
Hmm.
So, yeah. But yeah, I dig it. I like it.
I wonder if they're gonna announce any extra add-ons for the Dino King set.
Oh, that's a good point.
Would there be extra little bits coming? I wonder. I hope so.
Yeah, I've not seen anything yet. So
I tell you, if that Motormaster drops in price, or because I'd like the I'd like the Vector Prime to drop in price. If either of those two drop in price, I'll pick up the DNA kits for them as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've said before, I've already got the Vector Prime kit on order because I have him on my shelf as is.
Like he's still like £30, and I'm like, you've been out for ages, dude. Come on, drop in price.
I just say I have the animated Prime. I'm sorely tempted by their kit for him because
is it still in stock? Can you still buy it?
I think so. I'll have to have a look on that one. I'm sure I've seen it still listed places. So
not on Shozy at least. Not that we're sponsored or anything, but just throwing it out there. But yeah,
Shozy,
DNA.
Andy would like a sponsorship, please.
I mean,
yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't mind because they've got Joy Toy stuff that I'd like to grab from them as well. You know.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm okay with that. Also, we can move on. Transformers Bumblebee movie Wheeljack Smart Kit. This is a model kit by Trumpeter, who we've heard of before. So if you're like, hey, I can't remember what a smart kit entails, but let's read the blurb. This is an officially licensed, it's easy to build model kit, whatever that means, I suppose, which comes with pre-painted parts and doesn't need any glue. So that's in my mind, Big D, that's a model kit. That's a Gundam kit. Apart from you do need to paint a Gundam kit usually. But,
easy to build and pre-painted makes you think that it's kind of akin to the blockies where it comes with the parts bagged up. So
it's not going to be on sprue. Yeah, I'm thinking you're right.
So everything's been cleaned up and painted. So you just push it to clip it together, which,
that's fine. If you're young, if you're a kid.
Yeah. And honestly, he looks pretty great, to be fair.
Yeah, it says Wheeljack looks like a very faithful recreation of her design. It says, seen in the Bumblebee movie. Okie dokie. I didn't know Wheeljack was a girl in the Bumblebee movie. TFW. It's another mistake.
I think this case of citation needed.
Well, I think Wheeljack was on the screen for...
seconds?
20 seconds? Maybe? Not long.
If that.
If that, yeah. Apparently, it's going to stand about 9 centimeters tall. It comes with a big gun. Oh, he comes with a big gun, not her. Okay. To top it all, we have a group shots next to the previous release Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and Cliffjumper sets as well. So he is the set of all of them. I didn't realize how pregnant Wheeljack looked. He's got a very broad chest, going into a beer gut.
Yeah, that's. I hadn't realised that either. To be fair,
his body shape looks like a guy you'd see down in a British pub. He was off to a football match.
I hate to say it, but I resemble that remark right now.
I don't think you have skinhead, though, which is the thing I'm thinking of.
No, I have far more luscious locks than the average skinhead, thankfully.
Yeah, I was thinking of the North FC meme. Build gadget, destroy entire team, simple as.
Yeah.
He looks pretty decent, though. It looks fairly accurate and detailed for what you get. I think they may be exaggerating how big his gun is. It seems reasonably sized gun, it's maybe about average. But yeah, the details on it seem nice. If you're in the market for something a little bit more than a blocky, but not too much more than a blocky, maybe trumpeter, whatever you want to say, might be the way to go. Well, as long as you want specifically, Bumblebee movie designs.
And only 9 centimeters tall. That's tiny.
How big is a blocky? Is it about 9 centimeters tall?
You know what? I've just measured Cliffjumper that's right next to me, and he is just over 9 centimeters.
Oh, okay. Over. So these might be a little smaller. Interesting. So, granted, these won't mesh too well in terms of how they look next to each other, but scale-wise, I guess that's important to you. This'll do you, I guess, which is nice.
Yeah. And you know what? Being small means it should be fairly cheap.
Yeah, there's another bonus as well. It's not going to be too hard to build or too slow. I was actually hoping these were going to be more high-grade Gundam scaled. I hope this was the kind of next level up from the blockies. Yeah,
I suspect Flame Toys might have that kind of niche blocked off for the time being.
Feels like a while since we've seen Flame Toys. It probably isn't, but it feels like it is.
Yeah, I get what you mean.
Well, we'll probably see something at the next Tokyo Toy Show or the next Japanese-based toy convention, whenever that is. I think there's probably one in winter.
I think so. They normally show something off at least once a year for Flame Toys.
Yeah, somewhere at least. We'll move on. Wonderfest. Well, they might show something at Wonderfest when it comes up properly.
Yeah.
Which is on the 9th of February in Chiba, Japan. They've shown some garage kits for Beast Wars Rat Trap and Optimus Primal, specifically exactly how they looked in the show. So they're going to be pretty basic, but they're garage kits, so you can't expect too much from them. Low res models. Prime, in fact, actually comes with the big shield as well. What episode did he use that big shield in? I recognize it, but I can't place the episode.
Yeah, so do I. Same. I remember him using it. I just can't remember which episode.
No, I'm trying.
But they do look nice.
I mean, for what they are, they're both the Rat Trap is clearly a CG render, and the Prime is a physical prototype. And it looks like they're doing what they're meant to do, which is be a representation of their animal modes in the 90s CGI format, which is rough. It's many thousands of years ago Beast Wars came out, unfortunately. I know kids today, a lot of them can't get into Beast Wars because of it. And I think all you'd need to do to make Beast Wars tolerable is update the textures.
Absolutely. The beautiful thing about Beast Wars is that if you just took the original voice recordings,
you could do that as well,
and the audio, but it's the expense of that updating the CGI. I mean, it's fine if Mainframe still have the original files anywhere, because that was an awful long time ago now.
Probably don't. Mainframe are not the company they used to be, unfortunately.
No. sadly.
It's a
But,
real fucking shame. Mainframe got screwed. They should have been a massive hit.
yeah.
Especially now,
I mean,
but no, they got gutted.
yeah, and 'cause especially as they blazed a trail for so much of what is kind of commonplace nowadays.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
It's
sad.
also kind of sad because there's so much. I've had cause to watch a bit of kids' TV from time to time, and this isn't a universal thing, but I have noticed that there is a lot of the CGI cartoon shows. They don't have half the energy of Beast Wars.
It's because it's cheap.
Or the setting, or the framing for everything. Yeah, because they had to get inventive with Beast Wars. Everything was trying to cover for what they couldn't do,
Yeah.
and they pushed it as far as they could. And nowadays, it's just like, we need this. Sure, give us half a day. We'll get this out for you. Or it's a studio who are really massively overworked and they just can't afford the time to give it their A game. And
a lot of those CGI shows look pretty bad, like visually. They're not that much better from Beast Wars in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
No, the reason I say specifically textures is because I feel that if you look at the models from Beast Wars to Beast Machines, there's not a massive upgrade. They're better, but then it's not a massive upgrade. The thing that makes the Beast Machines last longer visually is the textures. Like all you have to do is look at the textures on the ground, and for the background in Beast Wars, it's rough because the maps and stuff that they use were
Beast Wars itself. If you go from season 1 to season 3, you do see a real progression for if they were improving even during each season, but the progression from season to season of the quality of CGI, it did improve quite dramatically.
The models got better, but they never upgraded the texture maps, unfortunately. And they did have the horrifically nightmarish humans.
Yes.
Horrifying. Horrifying. And they were not a great upgrade. Introduction. Anyway, we're off topic. This is for the kits. It's worth mentioning that Prime comes with the shield seen in the show. It doesn't say the episode, unfortunately. Assembly scale model kits, most commonly cast in polyurethane resin. Okay.
Polyurethane resin.
Thank you. Polyurethane resin. Is that fun to eat? Is that edible?
I wouldn't recommend it. It's what most gaming miniatures are made out of, polyurethane resin.
Okay. I hear a thing to do when you're making 3D, when you're testing out like new resins, is to do the taste test to see which one's better.
Has Jai been telling you porcupines again?
No, I watched a video. It's like, oh, you got to do a taste test to find out which is the best one. It's like, ooh, this is good. The guy it's like a shot like. It's shoved like his stomach upwards, and you can see his hands, and he pours it into a cup, and then it like raises above the camera view, and he goes glug glug glug, and he's like, quite bitter. I like it. Very good.
Was it followed by an episode the following week saying, unfortunately, this series cannot continue due to an urgent medical emergency last week?
Me dead. Me live no longer. The license only allows the kit to be sold at the convention, so there won't be any available during retail. So I guess if you've got any middlemen, they're going to the convention, they could pick them up there, I suppose, but that would be about it. Who knows on how many are made as well, but
yeah,
there you go.
But it's nice that it is actually going to be licensed for sale.
Yeah, oh well, at least for the one day, or however long the con is. Yeah. It's what always happens with Wonderfest. You always have these little weird little things that are out for like a day, and that's about it.
And that's fun. I think that.
It's interesting. We also got the next wave of blockies that's coming out. We got the official images. These are the in-hand images. So the in-hand images of IDW Megatron, IDW Prime. Don't ask which version, because there have been lots of IDW Primes. G1 Sunstreaker, Shattered Glass Ratchet, G1 Kickback, G1 Dirge, G1 Wheeljack, G1 Swoop in Dinobot mode and Robot mode, and IDW Optimus Prime Force Field mode, which is the blue Redeco, which is the chase version of the figure.
I can tell you which versions of Prime and Megatron they are.
I mean, they're the more the meets the eye. They're the latest ones. The last ones.
Makes this more than meets the eye. Prime is Chaos Fury.
Yeah, it's the James Roberts kind of one.
Yeah,
the ones that people think of.
Yeah, the really good designs for them.
Yes. Is this did you say oh dear? Because this is like a wave that you will want to pick up, Big D?
Well, given I purchased my first couple of blockies just before Christmas, and I found them incredibly charming. And this wave features two of my favorite designs with Prime and Megatron in these forms, plus Swoop, plus Wheeljack.
And Kickback.
Yeah, he's there.
Oh, you don't like Kickback?
Insecticons are goons.
Yeah, but they're cool looking. They got cool designs. I like them. He had his head smushed in the movie.
Yes, he did, and that's the most memorable thing he's ever done.
Oh. They grew really big in that one episode. I remember.
But no, these look great. I mean, Swoop is nice in both the modes. I do like that for Dinobots, they are doing, whenever they do one, they give you both his modes.
Yeah.
You have to hope you get them. But
I think it's generally because the Dinobots, you primarily think of them in the dinosaur mode. At least I do, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah.
Like, you don't think about Wheeljack's car mode most of the time. You think, oh, yeah, Wheeljack, the doctor. And you think Swoop, you think, oh, the pterodactyl, rather than the robot. Maybe that's the reason.
But I mean, Kickback does look great, to be fair. Wheeljack is Wheeljack. Sunstreaker is a Sunstreaker.
Wheeljack's just a re-release, right? Because he was in an earlier wave, sure. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm not up to date on my blockies. But here's the question, Big D. Are you going to have to catch them all on the ones you've missed as well, previous waves and whatnot?
I've been really trying hard not to.
Gotta catch them all, Blockymon. Because if you get this wave, you'll have Dirge. But where's Ramjet? Where's Thrust? You know? Where's Starscream? Where's Thundercracker and Skywarp? You gotta have the Seekers, right?
I only just removed them from... I had like a case of each wave in my AliExpress basket, and I just removed it a few days ago because I was thinking, nope, can't do another one.
How much was it, though?
It was like 50 quid a case.
That's a little more than I was thinking it should be, but okay.
I mean, that was like 9 or 10.
Do you get spares, like dupes? Are there dupes in there?
Well,
if you get dupes, you could probably sell the dupes on.
I think that blockies, I think, are completely randomized. It's not one of these ones where you buy a case and you can expect to pull one of everything.
I thought it was. I thought it was like that.
I'm not sure. It can. That's the thing with these Gash things. It can vary massively. Sometimes it is guaranteed. Other times it's complete crapshoot.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to do the old HeroClix and Star Wars miniatures back in the day, and
I'm sorry.
I mean, I have nearly a full set of the Wizard of Coast Star Wars miniatures, and that was not a pleasant experience to do over the years. I'm still missing like 10 figures from almost 1,000.
Oh, Jesus. So you've got nearly all of them. That sucks.
Oh, yeah.
To be missing 10. Jesus, man.
Yeah, and some of them, and the worst bit is some of them weren't even ones that were especially difficult to get hold of. It was just that they were from waves that were harder to find.
I get you. Maybe you should pick up one of the cases, and then if you get dupes, you can just sell them on and maybe make a little money back, if that's how it works.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
I'm not... blockies, I'm quite happy with just maybe seeing them on a shelf in the shop and go, oh, I'll grab one of those.
I mean, you said that, but you did pick up a box from AliExpress and put it in your basket, which meant you considered it.
Well, I went looking because you showed me a load of them on these shows, and I thought, oh, let's look up blockies on AliExpress. I was like, oh no.
Well, what are blockies like here? Blockies on what do you call it? Shozy. You can get
games sell you a case for 70 quid.
Oh, you can get it cheaper from Shozy. Yeah, they're about 52. Yeah, this set that's coming soon is 52.96. The one that we're just talking about from Shozy.
Yeah, the Galaxy version of Transformers 1, a case of 9 gets you one of everything, is 85 quid from Kapow.
Yeah,
those are the bigger ones anyway.
Yeah. Sorry, which ones were they?
The Galaxy versions.
No, I think they're sold separately because the Prime's 20 and the Megatron's 20. So those are the big ones. Yeah, they're selling them separately. It seems. I don't know if they. I don't know how Kapow are doing it. If they're actually selling them as one big lot or what. Yeah, if you want to get the back
it's
box,
a lot of 9.
Yeah, you can get the second version of Blockies for 48 £48 on Shozy. That's
Andy,
less than 50.
Andy, why do you do this to me?
Because I hate you.
Yeah.
You bastard. But yeah, Blockies. Another wave's coming out. They keep releasing these pretty quickly. It's a fast turnaround on these things. So if you like Big D and you want to get them all, well, you're fucked because they just keep bringing out more and more and more. It's hard to keep up. I thought
you were going to say if you like Big D, buy them for him.
if you like Big D, you could do that. I don't think Big D would fight you on it, right?
I would resist with.
Oh, so you don't want it? Okay, well there you go. He didn't want him. He said he'd resist. Too bad. You don't need to hear what the rest of the things he said was. So we're moving on to Transformers: Age of the Primes Titan Triptychon first look. So this popped up right at the end of the year. We got to see what the new. Well, it's not really a new Triptychon is. I was told that this had remolding, and I think those people were being very generous.
I cannot see any remolding on this.
I think what they meant when people were saying it had remolded parts were the parts on Triptychon, the Titan's Return version, that were translucent, mainly his chest part, are going to be opaque. So that's not translucent. So what is this, Andy? This is a re-release of the Titan's Return Triptychon figure mold in a nice new color scheme. The color scheme of the cartoon. So he's more black than he is grey, and that's... instead of purple, he's more vibranty pink. Yeah, vibranty pink.
Hot pink.
Yeah, something akin to that. This new release features no stickers, no clear parts. Well, that's a lie, because there is a clear part on his head.
And his hips.
Yeah, but, they're no... Again, come on, TFW, you can see it. No, never mind, it's fine. Yeah. I know what they mean. I know what they mean, even if they didn't do it correctly. No clear parts on... there are no clear parts on the chest, retains full tilt, who's devoid of color. He's just a block of pink plastic. And the Titan Master Necro.
He was just a block of purple plastic to start with. So.
I think he had a little bit of silver on him, didn't he?
He did have a little bit of silver, a little bit of black, but...
don't get me wrong, not a lot.
My one has toy hex labels on because it just needed something.
But don't worry, when you buy this one, Big D, there'll be another set of stickers they'll bring out as well. To top it all off, the new release comes with new... why did they mention this? The new release comes with new packaging with a new art style. Who cares? I mean, it's a nice box, but I don't give a rat's ass it has a new box.
I am surprised it's not just in Gen Selects packaging. Like the...
I'm not, and I'll tell you because it's an official release within the confines of the line, so it needs to have kind of consistent packaging.
But just the fact that they are re-releasing it as... Because normally, when they did the Omega Sentinel, that wasn't re-released as part of the line. It was re-released as a Gen Selects exclusive.
Well, that's because it's not Omega Supreme. If they re-released Omega Supreme, it would probably be in the standard packaging for the line. Like this, that was the Omega Sentinel. Does anyone really want the Omega Sentinel? Few people would. Generally, people who want to get an Omega Supreme would not want the blue version, if you see what I mean.
Yeah. But also, the other Titans, when they've done a rerun, they've just put them in their existing packaging.
Who else?
One, I know they've done reruns, I think, of Fort Max. Scorponok's got one coming up, which they've not said they're changing any of the packaging for him. That's due out this year. Actually, it's just Fort Max, really. Yeah.
And when was Fort Max re-released? I don't remember. It's a while ago, right?
Say, it was a while ago, about 2 years, I want to say.
Okay. I would imagine that the Scorponok will probably have new packaging of some sort as well. Like I say, this is. I think this is mainly because this was announced as part of the official line for Age of the Primes.
Yeah.
So
it's just a bit weird that they are releasing Triptychon in Age of the Primes. I mean, it looks great. He looks lovely. Don't get me wrong. It's a wonderful color scheme. I dig it quite a lot, but it's just unexpected.
I'm guessing it's that they didn't want to make. They thought it's been a while since Triptychon came out. We could release him at least with a new color scheme. Shove it. We don't need to then make a new Titan class figure, or at least it can give us more time before the next new Titan class figure has to come out, maybe. I do think the color scheme looks nicer, personally. I think it's nice. I missed out on the first version of Triptychon. I would have liked to have got it for £70 back then. My concern now is how much are they selling it for compared to how much it was sold for.
That is the big one, isn't it? Because I mean, I was
how much was it when it came out? Like 120?
120, and it was some places in the States had it for real silly money at one point.
Yeah.
I think here in the UK it was. I mean, I got mine for 60.
Oh yeah, I just meant full price. Doesn't matter the sales price because it's not going to hit 60. This isn't going to hit 60 again.
Yeah.
I think you'll be lucky to get it for 120 like you did originally. I think it's definitely going to be more than that, and there's no reason for it. There's no reason apart from they just say, "Oh, as time's progressed." It's like they haven't made any new molds. They've just injected new colors into the mold. So it will. If it's 120, I'll be reasonably happy and kind of surprised. I have a feeling it's going to be the full Titan whack of like what 160, 170. I can't remember how much Tidal Wave was. He never dropped in price either.
Tidal Wave was over 200, wasn't he?
Was he? Fuck.
Yeah, that's his retail. I mean, I've seen him discounted to about 170.
You might be right. That's probably still why I haven't picked him up, because I was like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Are they really going to try and sell Triptychon for like 200 quid?
I mean,
that'd
if
be
they try,
crazy.
they have to fix the hip ratchets.
I think that's guaranteed, because I'm pretty sure they fixed those later on in the later releases, right? It was only the first kind of couple of batches, I think. I'm pretty sure that the Triptychons did get fixed later on.
I know I had to do a repair to mine.
Yeah.
In fact, he's never been out of a box except for me to take a screwdriver to those ratchets.
Exelhead says, Woo Triptychon, best $50 Titan ever. I mean, if this new one, the Age of the Prime one, was 50 quid or $50, I'd be like, yeah, okay, I'd be happy enough to pay that. It won't be that. If it is 200 or Tidal Wave prices, I'll be very irritated.
Yeah, and that just makes all the non-American hobbyists angry because we don't have all these lovely shops that do stupid discounts.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how many apologists there'll be for if he does come out for that price. Because I see people on Twitter who apologize for Hasbro a lot and say, "Oh, well, they have to because of inflation." It's like, no. It's gonna happen. Yeah. I'm gonna see it and get annoyed at those people. Roll my eyes, I guarantee it. But like I say, the positives are I like the color scheme. I think it does look nicer. It's a shame it won't be $50 again. If it is, I'd like to get it for $50.
It is, though, quite funny that they've announced this, and yet we're still getting the really bad Megatron Godzilla figure.
Yeah.
I think you're re-releasing the best figure to do a retool as a Godzilla special, and it would probably sell.
Okay,
decently.
I think it's a harder push because it is a Titan figure.
I know, but it's also Godzilla, and if you make it a big thing that it's the Godzilla Transformers crossover,
you can make it really cool. Don't get me wrong. If you remolded it to look more Godzilla-y, I just don't think they'd want to risk it because it's a Titan class figure, and that's like I get it. But I agree, it would look a lot better. It would look a lot better. It would be more appropriate, and you could do a lot more with it. You could maybe like you need to remold some parts, like remold the head at least, and that'd be good enough. Because he already has like some spinal stuff on him anyway. He's got kind of spines, so that's fine. I don't know.
New head.
Yeah, that's it. That's all you do.
Scheme, yeah, spot on.
Exelhead says, so is Brunt getting a re-release in New Colors 2? Look at this boy with his funny jokes. I'd say no, just on the basis that this is this is probably what the Hasbro rep would say. Well, Brunt wasn't in the cartoon, so he won't get a re-release because he wasn't actually in the cartoon, so he doesn't actually have to match Triptychon.
However, as you pointed out, it's a mainline release.
Yep.
With the new branding on the box. And they do have a habit of finding figures sometimes to slot into waves to pad them out.
Oh,
They
you
don't
think
wanna-
you think they'll do it? You think they'll re-release a Brunt?
I think so.
Okay, it would be an easy
mean,
do, I suppose.
I mean, I actually like Brunt. I know some people don't, but I
wasn't a
quite
big
liked. I liked the fact that one, they did it,
Mm.
because I did think Triptychon was a bit lacking in. It was noticeable the lack of some bits from him.
Oh yeah, I
compared to
agree.
Triptychon.
I agree with that.
So I actually quite liked how they tried to do that with all the weaponizers to
Some
do
degree.
it that way.
Yeah.
It wasn't all successful, but it was a nice. They
Yeah.
attempted it.
Yeah, I think
no,
they could have
Brunt-
done better, but like you say,
Yeah.
at least they did. At least they attempted it, I suppose.
Just recasting Brunt in that hot pink plastic is going to be a damn sight easier than any of the other ones.
Yeah,
So-
true. Axel Hedge says new Triptychon colors: Takara or third Gigastorm. The problem is Gigastorm and the original toy version are pretty similar.
Mm,
The only thing they do is they change out the translucent plastic bit for a crest, and
Big
the
ol'
colors, and then they just add green blobs on his thighs and like going down his spine, and that's about it. I've got Gigastorm, and there's very little difference. I can't remember if I actually have Triptychon. I've got Gigastorm, but I don't think I've got Triptychon. I don't think I do, funnily enough. But we can move on to the next thing, which was the real, in quotations, the real reveal of the Studio Series double pack team of Long Haul and Hook.
yeah.
They said here's an early holiday gift, which was not a reduction in price, which would have been a nicer gift. It's just
Yes, it
an
would.
early thing of like, hey, you can pre-order these figures early next year.
Yay.
Only two Devastator reveals left for 2025. Yeah, that's true. They've almost revealed everything. So
yeah.
we have most of the team revealed. I think Hook and Bone Crusher and Scavenger, their pre-orders sold out pretty quickly on in-demand toys. Very quickly.
Yeah, they sold out quick everywhere. I mean, between them and Air Raid and Slingshot, it's been a ball ache trying to get hold of some of these.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. I'm sure they'll all come out eventually. See, I don't mind buying these ones at a bit more of a higher price markup because they'll be like mostly deluxe prices. My issue is mainly Studio Series Optimus Prime because he's near 100 quid. But how do we think like Long Haul and Hook have came out, because we can see like the alt modes and we can see the extra kind of parts for Devastator that Long Haul's going to have to pull around with him, which obviously makes sense, and I don't mind personally.
Yeah, it's actually one of the better solutions. At least he's not, he is carrying bits around, but at least it's been designed to have a function. So that's something. I like their robot modes.
Yep.
They look a lot nicer than the Combiner Wars versions.
Do you not like? Do you not miss Long Haul's hands from Combiner Wars? Little stubs.
Well, I mean, I've got the Unite Warriors version, so it's marginally better, but it's still
still rough.
This one, he actually has. Well, he has arms that look like they might not break under his own weight.
And he's a fat bastard, but he's not a tremendously fat bastard like he was in Combiner Wars. Because he was doing a lot of work for Combiner Wars.
He was the most crucial component of that entire set.
Yeah.
Because he was most of the lowest chest and the stomach and the abs and the legs and Yeah,
it was massive.
Massive. This is a
Massive.
much nicer compromise by slapping the legs on as a trailer. I like that.
And they showed us a completed Devastator as well, with only obviously 2 limbs in grey prototype plastic. And I mean, I don't think it's painted because it looks like it's missing colors.
It does look a little.
Maybe it isn't. Maybe this is just how he's going to look. Because it does look like he's missing color, but I don't think he is.
I mean, Scrapper looks a little
bland
in the leg, especially. Yeah. My mind always seems to think there's more purple. There should be more purple in there, but there's actually
there is. Yeah,
there isn't on Scrapper anyway in that vehicle mode. So
I think obviously, I mean, Toy Hacks are going to add the toy stickers.
Oh,
so if
yeah.
you want to make it more toy accurate, you can make it more toy accurate. I wonder what they'll do for the non-toy accurate set. If they, well, they'll probably do a non-toy accurate set. They'll probably just be like small highlights and detail stuff. But they're going for Studio Series cartoon accuracy. So this is probably how he is meant to look. It's just in my mind, like you say. I don't know whether it's just more purple or just like more silver or black details. But again, in my mind as well, I'm like,
Yeah, but I do like how they look combined.
It's good.
Yeah, and the Interval Robot so far looked the part quite nicely. So
I think the only thing that is maybe a bit of a shame is that you can easily see Devastator's head in Hook's vehicle mode. Like there's no hiding it. I kind of wish that was removable and just you could store it on Long Haul's thing. You know,
it'd be nice if there was somewhere on his. Well, let's be honest. He's pulling the whole package, shall we say, for Devastator behind him.
How much is he pulling?
He's
He's probably pulling the thighs,
forearms, chest piece,
and the hips as well, right? Maybe. Yeah, I think the hips.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I think that the hips and the thighs are all of that part, and then he is the small kind of ab section of Devastator, I'm assuming.
But then his dump truck bed forms the ass.
Yes.
So Devi literally has a dumper.
You got a dumpy. Excelhead says, meant third-party add-on kit. Oh, third-party add-on kit for Gigastorm? Oh, maybe. That could be a thing.
Yeah. I mean, I'd not be surprised to see one.
No, I wouldn't be shocked either, no. But yeah, Constructicons looks like they're coming along nicely. The nice thing as well is they're not spread out over multiple waves, so we'll be able to get them all relatively quickly, which they did mention, and I do appreciate, and I think a lot of people will appreciate it as well, because it doesn't seem like you're going to miss out on...
I think they've learned the lesson of
It's taken fucking enough time, because they've done that arse around stuff for ages with Combiner Wars. Remember in Combiner Wars when they spread out an entire, like, 3 or 4... different combiners into a wave.
Yeah.
It's like, just let one wave be the aerial bots. Let one wave be the Stunticons. It's weird time.
Absolutely.
Weird time.
It was so bizarre.
It was. But yeah, these looking good. I guess we'll have these all by summer? End of spring, beginning of summer? Like mid-year, I reckon.
When did they say? Well, did they say we should have the last 2 by the end of summer?
I can't remember, but I'm from how quickly these are coming out to go into pre-order. I wouldn't be shocked. I think it's fair to say that it's not going to be like Christmas before we get all of these. I think half a year. I think 6 months. All of these will be out. I'd like to believe.
Do we think they'll end up doing a gift set version of them at some point?
I mean, it's possible, and just redo them as the toy color version.
Or
which again wouldn't be much worse. Oh yeah,
if they redid them Tongatron colors.
I think it's
that'd be a Gen Selects.
Yeah,
no doubt.
I think that would make sense to do it as a Gen Selects.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like yellow. Which one do you do? Yellow Devastator, Orange Devastator. Which one?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
they just go. Let's be honest, they go with yellow. Because no one really cares about the orange one for good reason, because the yellow one looks better, in my opinion. But yeah, Devastator, he be coming. Another one. So now we're on to TFCon, March the 7th to the 9th. This is in Los Langeles. We've got Jason Konopis. This guy. What's his name? Big D, do you want to read it? Konopaisos. The voice of Shockwave in Transformers 1. He's going to be going, so if you liked the voice and you like Transformers 1, he's going to be there. We also have Michael Bell, who's also going to be there, who is the voice of Sideswipe, Prowl, Swoop, Bombshell, and many, many other things as well during the Sunbow era. And just, 80s cartoons, right? Yeah.
Oh, Duke and G.I. Joe, Lance and Voltron. Oh, he was playing all the heroes, wasn't he?
Mostly. I mean, he wasn't... You could argue he wasn't, like, super important heroes in Transformers, but you got to play Duke at least. Fairly important character, I'd say. Flint was better, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Flint
Everyone
wasn't boring. Flint was the Han Solo. Luke was the was the other one.
Yeah. Flint had the cool shotgun, and he and Lady J had big energy, let's say.
Yeah, true. Lady J greater than Scarlet. Throw it out there. Exel Hedge says he can double fist Dinobots, but can he double fist Dinobots? Maybe. It'd be interesting to see. He will. I wonder how he'll like stack up size wise to the leader Dinobots. That'll be quite interesting to see.
Oh yeah.
And also he says Shattered Glass Devastator. Maybe. I hope not.
Ooh. How would that look? Would that just be Dinobot colors?
I'm pretty sure they were Defensor colors.
Ooh.
I'm pretty sure someone did that kind of stuff ages ago. I'm not sure if it was official, though. I don't think it looked good.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my head around that because that just feels weird.
I think it was a third party that did it, so I don't think it was like official. So I'm thinking it was maybe something like that. Like I say, it was a long time ago when I saw that.
Yeah.
Long time ago. I can't even remember the company that did it. But yeah, that's it. That's all the news. I don't think there's anything new on Show Z either in terms of new coming up stuff. So I guess we can ask Big D while I have a quick check. Oh no, there's this thing. There is the hang on. I'll turn the website off and then turn it back on and send it to you. We can talk about the Ji Gun Mao toy. Hang on, let me send it to you. Boop. If I'm saying it correctly. Oh, that's the wrong one. There it is. The Ji Gung Mao Toy Steel Kitty Party, which is a weird fucking name to begin with. The JGM-SKPO2 Mini Azura Dino King, but not Dino King. This is Volcanicus, as far as I can tell, right?
Yeah, that's adorable.
And it's quite a name as well. So these are prototype images as well from these guys.
A hell of a name.
Clearly, this is a prototype version, SD super deformed version of Volcanicus. I don't know why Volcanicus continues to keep coming up. It was a lame idea when it was introduced. It's still lame now. But yeah, if you want like a super deformed version of these guys, I guess you can. We don't have any individual shots of how they look outside of being combined. But Big D, what do you think of at least the combined form we have at the moment?
I mean, it's probably the most coherent I've seen them look as a combiner ever, to be honest. Which is kind of sad.
Maybe. No, that might actually be true. Yeah, because the official ones we've had so far from Hasbro have not been the best, or have needed severe upgrades to kind of make them workable, usable, functional.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one thing. Yeah, so Big D, what have you been up to, since, I guess, Christmas?
Not a mess, man. I've done a lot of building. I had Lieutenant Titus as a Christmas present, so I built him, a little bit of kit bashing. Got my Scion Command Squad built out of the old Aquilons, which was quite a fun build. Lots of hacking and chopping bits up for that. And otherwise, I've been working for my Gundam backlog.
Holy fuck. Sorry, do you know how much the Imperial Knight from Joy Toys is?
It's about 600 quid.
£570. Jesus fucking Christ.
And they offer it on a payment plan.
Yeah, it's 500 quid. I don't blame them. It's more expensive than a TV. Or a PC.
But still cheaper than a Warlord Titan.
From Forge World, yeah, I agree.
Yes, it's half the price of Forge World, and bear in mind that's a Warlord Titan with no weapons.
Yeah, you can just 3D print those now, though, can't you? For less.
Oh yeah, if you know where to go, you can find files to do all the Titans you could ever want.
Those that want one. Sorry, you were saying.
I mean. Yeah, I've just been working on my Gundam backlog. I've gotten through quite a bit of it, to be fair, this last week.
A lot of seed stuff.
Yes. Yeah. I can hear your distaste. It fuels my soul. No, they've been lovely kits though. I've been working with a few of the older ones, but also some of the newer ones. Today and last couple of days I built a couple of ones from the new movie.
Oh, okay.
They were really nice to build. They've got some of the engineering has been ported across from the real grades,
Hmm.
and I actually have the original versions of those two kits,
Oh,
the old high grade.
They are some old high grade kits.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
the difference in hand, because the dual has all its armor, which on the original is all just nasty. The new one feels so nice, and I'm fighting the urge to buy a second one just so I can have the dual without its armor.
No, don't do that. You don't have the room to do that.
I know, but it's great. I've been fitting kits into multiple boxes once I can get them all built. So it's a good thing. I'm progressing.
Okay,
I'm
that's good.
I'm working for a pile and compressing things down once I've got a few built. So yay!
Well, that's something. That's good.
But yeah, otherwise just fairly quiet. Not been doing too much.
Mhm.
Caught the back ends of Dandadan and Ranma Half, which were both excellent.
Oh, good. Yeah.
I've been getting caught up on Gonna Get Online Season 2,
Mm-hmm.
which remains probably the best thing in the Sword Art Online franchise. And kind of getting geared up for what's coming in the new season of anime shows.
When is the new season? Can't be too far off, right?
Started this week.
Oh, damn. Okay. I'll need to check
Yeah.
my anime list, see what's new out.
My Happy Wedding? It was a show I caught last year and just to see what it was like, and it kind of blew me away.
Hmm.
So they did a special just for Christmas, and the second season starts on Monday, I think. So
Okay. I think 100 Girlfriend shows coming back as well, and the first season was stupid and fun, so season 2 will be fun to watch again.
Yeah, I need to. I've got Anime Network's preview page saved, so I can just see what is coming out and where it is. So
Yeah.
I'll get an idea from there of what I want to follow this season and see how things go.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
Otherwise it's been fairly quiet. Going to try and see Nosferatu this week.
Oh, lucky. I want to see that. I'll have to wait for it to come to streaming.
Well, if you tune into the February watch along stream, if I'm able to source a copy, it's been rolled up for by pure happenstance. It got rolled up on this morning's numbers for watch along.
How?
Next.
It's not on streaming yet, though, right?
Well, I put it on the list because I thought it wouldn't get rolled up until later in the year. It's like, oh bugger.
Oh well. Good luck with finding a copy, I suppose.
It's fine. I shall traverse the seas and see what I can find.
Yeah, I think there's only cam stuff at the moment, unfortunately. Not that I would know.
I've got a month.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Yeah, in a month's time, something will be out.
Hell, in a month's time, it could even have its official streaming release.
True.
We've seen crazier things in the last year. So.
True.
But yeah, that's kind of it, really.
Exelhead says a chibi version of another third-party figure? ? Pretty sure Dino King was a full-sized figure from about 10 years ago. Looks like Toy World's Dino King combined. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, what have I been up to from Christmas? Not a huge amount. I finished building my Tomb King's Bone Dragon. I've nipped Archeon the Black's legs to put him in more of a standing pose. Because I didn't realize if you wanted the dragon to have a Tomb King ride it, you couldn't have a Tomb King on foot. You'd then be forced to have a priest. I didn't want the priest on the dragon because it's not very good. So I went, oh, well, shit. What do I do? And I went, well, I do have Archon the Black, who technically doesn't have a mount and can't have a mount. So can I finagle him? And I've mostly finagled him. I just need to milliput like the gap between his hip. And then I'll need to spray him.
if you can't give Arkan his classic manticore winged chariot, I suppose a Tomb Dragon will do.
Yeah, well, I couldn't. To be honest, I couldn't remember what his his rules were, and I thought it doesn't matter. I don't have to run technically Arkan as Arkan because I don't even know if that's in his rule in the current old world rules because of the fucking absolutely retarded arcane journal stuff.
I don't know if he's in the rules, but I know he was around at the time this takes
definitely
place.
Would be. I mean, if the Tomb Kings were around, he would have been.
Yeah, because he was leading his renegade army in the deserts and basically.
Yeah, exactly.
He was making Cetra's life hell.
As you do.
Yeah.
So I built Arkan technically as well, mostly. I built the priest, and have you seen the priest version of the Tomb Dragon? Sorry, the Bone Dragon.
It's got some extra bits on the back of it, doesn't it? Because the Tomb King one is much more of a traditional mount, whereas the priest has more of like a pulpit.
And he's summoning like a dust vulture.
Yeah.
So what I plan to do is I'm going to use the vulture as like a mount for him to stand on and class that as a flying carpet.
Nice.
So I've technically got 3 things out of the pack rather than 2, which I'd be reasonably happy with. I just need to get around to doing it. Like I say, I need to do the milliput for Arkan's leg, and then I need to spray him. But at the moment, the weather's so fucking shit in the UK, I'm not sure when I'll be able to spray him. But at least I got the Tomb Dragon painted and the seat for it painted as well, which was quite fun.
Yeah, I saw your pictures. They look quite nice.
Thank you. Also, I got AK terrain desert sand for the base, which, unsurprising, if you want any kind of texture paint, AK do really good stuff.
Yeah, I've been meaning to pick up some of their texture paste because you get a lot.
Yeah, it's the cheapest. It's really cheap for the amount you get. You get so much more than GW, and I'd argue it's better than GW stuff.
I mean, I haven't bought any GW texture paint in years, mainly because I keep getting pots of it in all these part works they do.
That's fair.
I have so much Astro Granite and Sterling Battlemire. It's gone crazy now.
Just need to do more horde armies, like start painting them up, and then you'll get through them because you've got loads of minis to paint. I collect
Imperial Guard.
Yeah.
What do you mean more horde armies?
Yeah, exactly. So once you start painting them up, once you start painting them up, you start hoofing through that really quickly, just because of how many bases you'll have to base up.
This is true.
Yeah.
Speaking of, have you seen what comes up for pre-order next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got a 3D printer. I don't care about buying official stuff anymore. Unless it's on sale, I don't really care, to be honest.
Fair.
I'm done with GW. I'm really sick of how GW do their business. I don't like their constant price rises and hikes. I don't like the fact that their Arcane Journal for the Tomb Kings doesn't have all of the rules for the Tomb Kings in. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, it's not clear unless you have a copy in front of you that it doesn't come with all that stuff. I was following the development of the old world from early on, so I kind of knew how they were releasing things and their plan for the Arcane Journals as supplements to the 2 main Order and Chaos Army books. I hadn't considered how, if you weren't aware of that, how badly they've made it, because they haven't made it particularly clear that you need a separate book to the Arcane Journal.
It doesn't feel like there needs to be an Arcane Journal at all. Like, why have the Arcane Journal at all?
Well, I get why, because they wanted to give you the core book, the 2 core books, to give you the lists for the armies that are being supported through this edition, and they do give you all the essentials you need to play. So you've got a lot of variety for all the armies in there, but then the journals give them space to explore kind of like this different, specialist armies. So you've got, I think there's at least 2 alternate army lists you can build out of in each one, and some bespoke items, and to get in, just to dig deep into the lore of the faction. Now, I don't have any of the Arcane Journals, so I don't know how much lore is actually in there.
Not much. It's like 80 pages. It's a really small book.
But I'm not agreeing with it, but I understand what their logic was. But I do agree. I do think they should have made it far clearer.
I think everything should be in a book for the Army's book.
Yeah,
when you buy an Army's book, I don't particularly care if it's like an additional thing. Everything for the Tomb King should be in the Tomb King book, even if it was already in the Arcane Journal.
Yeah, I mean, look at Horus Heresy. There you've got one book for the Loyalist Marines, one book for Traitor Marines, a book for the Imperial agents, basically, so Auxilia and everyone else, and a book for the AdMech and Dark Mech. And then anything else is in those big chunky campaign books they've been doing, and they're just like maybe a couple of special characters that you can dig out for particular missions or scenarios. Mm-hmm. They're not. They're part of the complete package you're getting when you buy those books, because they have been released quite a bit later than the actual Army books themselves. So it doesn't. The Heresy books feel a lot more like they don't feel as icky. If that makes sense.
Kind of.
And how they're marketing it. I understand some folks will probably still get a bit irked if they've bought, say, the Armies of the Loyalist Astartes and go, well, why is this character not in here? And he's actually in one of the campaign books. But it is normally just a character.
Yeah.
Or a couple of characters, and they are characters they've designed for that campaign book.
Yeah.
So it's not like they've been hiding them away. They were designed specifically to be used in that campaign, telling that story. So
So that's that stuff. I am slowly progressing towards being able to 3D print. I got my tent, which was the incorrect tent. The tent I'd ordered was meant to have like a port for a fan. They sent me the one without the port for the fan, so I've had to buy it again, and I'm sending the incorrect one back to them tomorrow, to the post office. It's a bit annoying because it was one of those ones that was on, it was a used one, so it was technically cheaper. So I've had to spend more. I have the fan as well. I've got that.
Cool.
I've got my silicon tray, so I've got stuff to drip my resin onto. I got my Bane mask, so I won't get cancer from breathing the smoke.
I was going to say, have you got your rebreather?
I do. I should have had one ages ago because I do have like a air spray gun, but I never had one. But I do now, so that's good. I've got my my sex gloves, so I can give myself a prostate exam and do my resin stuff whenever I like.
Good.
Prostate exam, I mean. What else did I get? Oh, I got my pickle jar cleaner, which is, where you put your figures in and you swill them around. I've got my proper cleaner and UV station as well, because you meant to pickle jar, then you meant to put them in the cleaning station, then the UV, just to get everything off of it.
Yeah.
What else?
And you've got all the files I shared with you as well, haven't you?
Yes, and I've got all the files Gruff sent as well. I've got my alcohol coming tomorrow, which is the stuff I need to clean them in. So that's coming tomorrow. And I've got a filter funnel, so I can pour the excess resin back in, but that's coming on the 10th. I don't care too much about that. Did I get anything else printer wise? I think that's everything I needed for the printer. So I'm pretty
good to go to start with. I mean, now this is only from what I haven't done any 3D printing myself. I've tried to explore as much as I can, and I know that something that I had recommended was from a few places was to like try and make sure you have a spare LED screen.
Oh yeah,
and stuff like that.
Just in case it breaks. I hear that as well.
Yeah, I mean, mainly not just because in case it breaks, but because the lifespan of these things is so long. It's not uncommon for your LED to break, and then you find out that the model of printer you're trying to get a replacement for isn't being supported anymore, so you can't actually buy an LED, or they've gone up in price on the aftermarket.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not too fussed because the Elegoo Mars 4 Ultra, I think, is the one I have. is an older model anyway, and it's a small printer. And this, I got it on the cheap for 50 quid. So this was basically a tester.
You can't argue it. Yeah.
So if it breaks, and I enjoy the 3D printing process, hopefully, the plan was to just get a newer model anyway.
Oh, that works.
To get a medium-sized printer so it's bigger, and it'll have more features and all that jazz anyway. So that was the idea. You're not wrong. Getting a spare LED screen, not a bad call, but the idea is just for an upgrade. If I like it.
It is starting to get dangerously close to where for 3D printers are starting to approach that point where home desktop printers were. Where
they're
They're just shy of getting to when the prices they cross a point where they're a convenience as opposed to a separate hobby themselves. So
I think the problem is at the moment there's still you need a lot of extra stuff as well.
Yes,
like the way to vent the poison gases of resin, which I think some printers are going to be doing in the future, but currently don't do.
I mean, some already come with filters part of the design.
That's more for the smell, though.
Yeah,
that's not for the actual dangerous stuff.
The actual, I'm of the opinion that it's a chemical engineering issue. That if someone can produce a resin that is completely non-toxic, that's going to be the game changer.
Oh yeah, certainly.
Because at the moment, even the biodegradable resins are not non-toxic. They're all massively dangerous substances. But if they can just crack that, and it is just chemical engineering at the end of the day, and someone I'm sure is working on it.
Oh, I mean, there's enough 3D printing companies that make resin. They'll have people hammering on it because the
it's
first person
like holy grail. If they can get that and then combine non-toxicity with, because some of the resins we've seen come out, you've seen massive improvement in the quality they can give, how durable they can be.
Yep.
I mean, you've seen some resins that are damn near indestructible, but still give you great detail. If they can combine all those together, it's gonna take off so much. And that's just for the resin side of it. For PLA printers are getting so much better as well. I mean,
is that like bamboo and those kind of ones, the really big ones, the much bigger ones that don't use the resin?
Yeah, the ones that use the plastic spool instead.
That's right. Yeah, they're kind of neat. They're more for like cosplay and stuff and doing big scenery bits rather than the small intricate stuff.
They are, but some have also, there's been a massive improvement in their end because some of those you can actually get custom nozzles and which improve the resolution.
Yeah, I heard that.
So it's not just for resin printing that's improving massively. It's also the PLA printing that's improving. So it's nice to see both sides improving in those ways. And they're not the only forms of 3D printing. There's a whole smorgasbord of methods out there. It's just they're the ones that
they're the primary ones.
They're the ones that are primed. They're the ones that are primed for the consumer market.
Yeah.
So I'm actually looking forward to seeing how you get on with it.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to seeing.
My mild anxiety is like it won't come out perfect first time because I want it to be perfect first time because I'm lazy. But I know it won't be. But it's that kind of hump of like just do it, just get it, just know that I'm gonna fuck up a few times, even though I don't want to fuck up.
Absolutely.
That. We'll see. Hopefully, at least by the end of the week, I'll have printed at least one thing out. At least that's my hope.
And worst case, we'll just set up a separate channel in. I don't know. We have print to play already in Flufferhammer. You can just go in there and have a complain with all the other guys who do 3D printing and get hacked off of it.
Me and Jai are basically going to be set up about the same time because we're working seemingly pretty close to see who can print out the fastest. Seemingly. So
is this going to be a case of you two are both getting started in it, and then you got Gruff and Darren who have been doing it for a while and just kind of given up because they don't have time anymore for faffing about with their machines?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to taking the teat of GW out of my mouth, and obviously because I want to do old world stuff, and GW just like pony up for super old models. I'm like, now go fuck yourself. No, because there are loads of good companies who've done some really nice models for them.
Yeah,
and they also Griff said he printed off an old Yarrick, and I was like, That's cool, but I think I'd rather have the real metal Yarrick if I was going to get one. You know, I
mean-
could print out a what would be considered a metal dreadnought, but I don't want a metal. Sorry, I don't want a resin dreadnought. I want a metal dreadnought. You know,
I
want
mean-
that girth.
There's files for the Rogue Trader Dreadnought.
Yeah, I don't care about that dreadnought. That's not my dreadnought. I want the square boy.
You want the box.
I want the square lad. Second Ed, my dude. That's the way.
That's fair.
I'm a big advocate for second edition stuff, but I will say third edition had better Devastator squad design. I much prefer the underslung stuff rather than all of them having them on their shoulder.
I mean, I remember, because one of the biggest problems with those early Devastator squads was trying to make them fit to the shoulder pads.
Oh, it's anus. Anus.
But they did the plasma cannon, which had the molded shoulder pad.
And that was the only one for some reason.
And they didn't do a multi-melter or an auto cannon, which were both options.
Yep. It's baffling.
I kit bashed auto cannons out of Wolfguard assault cannons with Imperial Guard autocannon barrels. Metal, bear in mind, on the metal Longfang bodies, because 4 Longfangs with autocannons would make people's lives a misery back in the day, back in second ed. But those old heavy weapons were a nightmare. Even though the third ed ones, when they were metal on the underslung setups, could be a bit finicky.
Oh yeah,
they were still nowhere near as annoying.
When I'm talking about at least just the cool factor as well. I think they look better holding them as they do in third edition. And like I say, I'm mostly a like big second edition flag waver, but for the Devastator squads, third ed has it personally. I've got my second edition Devastator squad on my desk, which still needs to be painted, and I'm looking at them like they're fine. I kind of like they're cute, but they're they're not my preferred versions. There you go.
Well, I had a brainwave a couple of days ago because I was.
Same for this land speeder as well. Sorry, the land speeder. I think third edition's better than the Rogue Trader second edition one. I like the third edition land speeder. Sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, I always like that one. Well, they redid the Death Watch had got their army back.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I was going through it and looking at some of the options now, and because I have a load of Death Watch built and primed in a frankly terrifying number, to be fair, now when I go and look at it. And I was looking at some of the Primaris options, and I've realized, do I want to buy despoilers and those silly T-shirt guns they carry? Or do I instead want to make the missile launchers that are used by them? Instead, I still have a bag of 4 of the Rogue Trader, the underslung missile launchers.
Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. I'm thinking, you know what? I'm just going to do a couple of guys with those instead.
Yeah. God, I haven't seen those for ages.
Primaris dudes with those launchers, because I love the underslung missile launcher. I love the third edition Space Marine missile launcher. I think it's a classic bit of design upgrade. But I love taking that. It speaks to me of the old Space Crusade missile launchers, especially. But I love how it takes the barrel system of the Rogue Trader missile launcher and just put it underslung. It just makes sense for a dude in power armor because you don't have to aim it off your shoulder because you've got all the target systems.
Yeah, exactly.
You can just hold it underslung and just.
And there's Space Marines as well, so they've got all the stupid Space Marines super logical brain stuff, so it's like whatever.
And more to the point, it looks cool.
It looks cool.
So I think I'm going to kit bash together a few. I have plenty of intercessor bodies. So I think I might just go and have a play around in the next week or so with some of those and see what I can put together. Because
why not, right?
Yeah, it's really just getting the arms sorted because these ones don't. They only they've got a molded hand for firing, but they've got an empty grip. Just when they were transitioning away from, it was before they started doing all the weapons with a molded gripping hand already in place.
Yeah.
So I've got plenty of the old model of plastic Space Marines. So it's a question of, do I try and make it fit to a Primaris arm, or just stick a stubbier Space Marine arm on there instead? But we shall see.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
The only other stuff I've been doing is I picked up Stargate Atlantis, and I've been going through that at the moment, so that's kind of why the anime stopped. Atlantis has the same writing issues as Stargate SG-1, but without as good as the cast, I would say.
I would say Atlantis' cast grows into their roles. It takes about it's about midway through season 2 when they start to really click.
I would say they haven't changed. There's barely any episodes of them getting any character development. They are pretty much the exact same characters as they were in season 3 at the moment, as they are in season 1.
Yeah, that's not unfair, I suppose.
And for the Wraith being such a threat, they do the same thing as they did in Stargate SG-1, which is there's a big threat and they shelf them, and then they have a very unsatisfying payoff most of the time. That's the problem with SG-1, and that's the problem here.
Have you gotten to the replicators becoming a pain again?
Oh my god, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? As soon as they said replicators in that episode, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, all that time they were in SG-1 and then they bring them back for Atlantis. I was like, oh god.
No, these ones are different because they don't use tiny cubes or whatever shape. They're all nano machines, and it's like, so they should be better, but they're exactly the same. No, they're actually worse. They're actually worse than the previous replicators. The fact that it's the same thing again. And I know why, because you don't need makeup for them. It's easy to do them. That's the problem. We've been in 2 galaxies so far, and there are very few aliens. That's to save on the budget.
Has Mark Dacascos turned up yet as one of Ronan's ex-war buddies?
Where the last episode I watched yesterday was when Tucker from Star Trek Enterprise was making bug people. It was the bug people episode where he got the bugs, and those bugs who would become the Wraith have been spliced with humans and made into giant predator creatures. That was the last episode I watched yesterday. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah. What is going on? He's the biggest threat. Like, I know nothing about the Wraith. I'm like halfway through season 3, or near the end of season 3, and there's next to nothing on the main antagonists of the show. It's madness.
As a fact that we have a Wraith recurring character in Todd.
Todd?
He's the one who Shepard seems to run into on an alarming regular basis.
I've seen him once.
Oh, he starts to turn up a lot more.
I thought he would do. It's just, again, he was the one that the two of them worked together, and he gave the life back to him, right? After he sucked it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a feeling he was going to turn up again, and I've been looking at my watch, going through episodes which are just like standard flat sci-fi episodes, and being like, so when's something interesting going to happen with that guy? Because I don't think he was called Todd in that first episode. Probably will be later on, but yeah. The problem with Stargate and Atlantis is it feels like they don't know how to do a subsequent story, and they want to do like next gen storytelling. But even next gen storytelling has a little bit of character stuff in there. A lot of these situations are just, like I say, pretty flat. Where I come out of the episode and I go, it's not bad. It's just
Yeah, I mean, it was a dark time for that sort of science fiction in the mid 2000s. You know,
I think it's Stargate. Just the writing team, because the writing team on Stargate and Atlantis are, they're both Canadian and they're both similar.
Yeah, but Stargate was all we had. Trek had finished by this point. There was no Trek.
Oh, really? Oh, no. Yeah, that's true, because Enterprise probably was done at that point.
Enterprise was finished before SG-1 was.
Oh, no.
SG-1 ran for like another 5 seasons, I think, after Enterprise ended. Yeah.
Damn. I didn't realize that's how the timeline worked.
And 2 movies. Maybe TV movies, but still 2 movies.
Oh, yeah. The TV movies for Stargate were not good.
And it was this period where, there was Battlestar Galactica that was often its own thing, but there was no other science fiction in the Trek kind of mold. And we just had Stargate, which was
I like again. Stargate's carried by how good each of the 4 main characters are, and I don't think Atlantis has that. You have Taylor, who's the girl. There's not much to her apart from she's the girl. You've got Jason Momoa, who is not
Jason
fun.
Momoa.
Yeah, he's not fun Tilk. He's basically the hard man, but he's not got that fun factor or interesting backstory that Tilk had. His backstory is my world was wiped out by the Wraith, which is most people's backstory in it.
Yes.
You've got Rodney, who's probably the most interesting character, who's still just a asshole all the time, but he has moments where he's like, "Oh, this is quite nice." And then you have Shepard, who is a not funny Jack O'Neill.
Yes.
I don't blame the actors. It's not any of the actors' fault. This is just the stuff that's provided for them. This is the script that's been written for them, and there's not much for them to work with. I was happy to see not Paul Dini. What's his name? Paul Meany. Paul Meany from Deep Space Nine. Chief O'Brien. Cole Meany. Cole Meany. That's him. I was like, oh, it's Chief O'Brien. Oh, look at him with his little face and his Irishness. Nice.
I mean, I always get a shock when Mitch Pileggi turns up as commanding a starship in Atlantis, to be fair, which I find hilarious. You remember Director Skinner from the X-Files?
Oh, yes. He pilots the Prometheus or whatever the ship's
called. One of them, yeah. Yes, I recognize him, but I couldn't place where I recognized him from. I was like, I know you. I've seen you in things. Obviously, Robert Picardo's back as well, because of course he is. Yep.
And there he is. A little boy. Now, it was more surprising to see Tucker from Enterprise, because I hadn't seen him in anything else ever. I was like, oh, it's Tucker. Wow, look at them. He was one of the really good characters from Enterprise, too. I liked him. And he's not in a very interesting role here. The Michael character's so stupid. The Michael storyline is dumb.
The episode he's introduced in,
that's good.
That's a good episode, but they kept bringing him back.
Yes,
which just dilutes him and makes him.
It's annoying because it's like he starts regaining. It's a wraith. He starts regaining his memory after being turned into a human. That's good. That's interesting. The problem is he's violent, and they try and change him back into a human again. I couldn't believe they repeated the story again. I was just like, no, kill him. Kill him. The one thing I didn't like about that story was when Michael was like, how dare you do this to me? How dare you turn me from a wraith into a person? And I was in bed, because this is where I watched my episodes, going, your species is trying to annihilate my species and feed off them like cattle. I am totally morally justified for exterminating your race. For the preservation of my race, I am justified doing that.
I think he was objecting to being gaslit more than anything. They tried to make him part of the crew, and when it failed, they were just like,
I would once again say, your species is trying to annihilate and feed on us. I am morally justified in doing everything it takes to protect my race. I don't know what the justification is for you're not morally right for protecting your own species.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because the Wraith are not like a race that want peace.
Oh no, they're
a very they're more two-dimensional than the Goa'uld, unfortunately.
Yes, and at least the Goa'uld had flair.
They had a lot of flair. I wish the Wraith had. I wish the queens of the Wraith were as flamboyant as the High Council of the Goa'uld.
Yeah, the Wraith queens, I think, is a massive missed opportunity.
Yeah,
to go full on. Let's make these very distinct personalities, and they all just look the same.
They all do the same. They all act the same. It's a bummer.
Whereas the Goa'uld were just it was just more fun.
Again, this is the annoying thing, because I don't think Stargate Atlantis is a bad show. It's just I keep seeing potential that they just keep throwing away, and they're like, no. It almost feels like the writers say it's too much work to do anything with this stuff.
I think it's more a case of they were, because of how, I mean, they were doing things on budgets that were pretty small at the end of the day. Universal, I don't think, ever really wanted it to. I think they kind of woke up one day and realized, oh, we have how many seasons of Stargate? They've been doing it for this long? Wow, okay.
But then why do Atlantis, and then why also do Universe?
Yeah.
I've never seen Universe. I don't think I heard good things about Universe. It didn't look like Stargate. It looked very...
No, it was...
It looked like Battlestar Galactica, the newest series.
Universe was trying to take a bit of the style of Battlestar into Stargate, and the hook was not a bad one, and they did do some actually quite interesting things. And in fairness, it's got a killer cast. In all honesty, I mean, you got Ming-Na Wen, Robert Carlyle.
Was the premise of it basically Voyager, like where they shot off into the galaxy and had to come home? Is that what it was?
Yes, except that they weren't a trained crew. The idea is that they were on one of the SGC's alpha bases they had on another planet, and they were forced to flee through a wormhole.
Okay.
And they ended up. They were basically running an experiment to find a particular set of coordinates that had been mentioned in some ancient writings. And they finally did it the day of an attack on their base, and everyone was basically evacuated through it. And it's like scientists, soldiers, some civilian administrators, a couple of members of the oversight committee, and they're all running. They're basically sent through this portal, and they end up on this ancient starship that's unlike any other ancient starship they've seen before, and it's also pretty much dead in space. The senior officer is basically pretty much comatose when they arrive because he's been bashed on the head. Half the crew are badly injured. No one's really trained. It's not like anyone there was trained to crew a Prometheus class ship. We're talking you have a few fighter pilots, literal grunts, researchers. The doctor is literally an officer who's got some medical cross training.
Yeah.
It's and lots of civilians, none of whom have any reason to be on this ship. And they have to try. I mean, the biggest thing they have to try and do initially is get out of the ring chamber, the Stargate chamber, and into the rest of the ship, and turn life support on because there's no life support running.
Right.
So
you say it's worth a watch?
I mean, it's only 2 seasons, so it's not like it's massively long.
Okay.
Well,
is it Universal, a complete story? Did they cancel it?
It got cancelled because Universal had their big crunch,
right?
Where they canned everything.
Yeah,
it's why Atlantis didn't get a movie when it was supposed to. Universe was supposed to get at least a 3rd season. The second does end on actually a pretty decent cap to what we've seen so far, but it's by no means an actual resolution to the story.
I get you. Okay.
But Universe's fair attempt to try and move the storytelling in a different direction. So.
One last annoying thing about Atlantis, when they find an ancient ship, and it's full of ancients, and the ancients come back to Atlantis and say, "Oh, well, we've came home. Now you guys need to piss off." And it's like, okay, well, that's kind of shitty, but that's interesting. We've got ancients now. They better not kill them off in this episode. And then the replicators come and just kill off all 100 of them. So it's like, what a waste of fucking time. Yeah. What a waste of fucking time. Here are 100 ancients, and the ancients die. The ancients are portrayed like fucking idiots in Atlantis.
I mean, in fairness, the ancients in almost every bit of Stargate are portrayed as being kind of idiotic assholes.
And a lot of inconsistency in how their technology looks, as clearly no one had an idea of how to lock down like their ships do not look like the jumpers, and the jumpers don't look like the device that gave Jack O'Neill that information where he met the
the face hugger.
Yeah, the face hugger device. Because that was an ancient device, but it looks nothing like anything else. It's crazy. It's crazy.
And then suddenly SG-1 gives them a whole Celtic Arthurian mythology makeover. It's like,
and then it was only, I guess, for this galaxy because they didn't look like that for Atlantis at all. Nothing like it. It's bizarre.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, yes. I don't think I did anything else of value. I don't think, because that's been most of my time. People have been playing Path of the Exile 2. Big D gave me Divinity, 1. I have Divinity 2, which I haven't played through properly. So thank you, Big D, for giving me that.
That's right. It was in my Steam library, and I thought, well, you like a top-down RPG.
Yeah. I need to actually finish one of these CCRPGs at some point, but
Yeah.
my buddy Daddy gave me Dead Space, the remake, so I've got which I'm playing on stream at the moment, which is quite fun. It's a lot better than the original version. At least it feels a little bit nicer. At least it looks pretty as well, so I can't say no to that. And I'm playing Enshrouded as well, which is kind of a survival-based builder, which is quite good. It's quite nice. Combat can be a little frustrating in it, though. And I think I've nearly finished with Dave the Diver, but I'm not entirely sure.
I was going to say, are you sure? Are they not going to throw another new game mechanic on you at the last minute? That suddenly is like a game in its own right.
Again, I'm 31 hours in, and there's been constant, like not all the time, but in the last stream I did, there was a cook-off between Bancho, the sushi chef, and another guy, and I was like, oh, it's just going to be a cutscene. No, I had to prepare the food, so I had to, this whole new sequence of me, like cutting carrots, frying these bits of sushi, and I was like, what the fuck? This is all new stuff again. And it might not be anymore. Like, it might just be that one time I do it. Maybe it'll be another time when Bancho gets challenged. I don't know. It's crazy. Dave the Diver, best game for me of 2024, even though it came out 2023. It's got more content than 90% of AAA games. I highly recommend it. It's very good.
It's on my watch list now because I want to get it at some point.
You can get it for £8.
Yeah.
You can get it for £8, easy. And it's incredibly worth it for £8. Incredibly worth it. But yeah, that's it. Thank you, Big D, for coming on the show this week. Last minute kind of thing and chatting with me today. Thank you. Granted, I don't know what we'll be doing next week because I don't know if there'll be any news. Well, if not, what's the next toy line? We could either do Should or we can move on to the next toy line that came after Cybertron, which was animated. I guess.
I think it was animated. Yeah.
So what would you prefer? Chug, which would be the classics, and then early, I guess, universe, or would you prefer animated, or would you prefer the movie line, the first movie?
Let's take a swing at classics.
Okay. So classics and whatever Chug is. I'll need to do some research to make sure I get those lists, and that's if there's no news, which there probably won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Where can people find you on the internet then, Big D?
I am over all the socials as David Kelly. Look for this handsome mug as drawn by Mr. Gruff, or a picture of Cup. It'll be one or the other. I also am an infrequent contributor to the UKAnime.net, one of their resident mech heads. And I'm over on the Love and Hammer Discord most days. I'm one of the mods. I haven't recorded anything recently because it's been Christmas and New Year's. But
when are you going to record a new thing, do you think?
I need to touch base with Gruff and Mr. White and see if either of them wants to do anything in the next couple of weeks and see where things go from there.
Right, okay. That it?
Yeah. That's pretty much it. So.
All right, cool. You can catch me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube as Decayed Andy. I stream and all that jazz. 10:15 UK time most days if you want to follow the game and stuff. And then we're on the Moonbase 2 forums, Twitter, iTunes, Facebook, Libsyn, Moonbase 2 Transformers podcast for YouTube, and ccbunker.weebly.com. Thank you for coming back for the new year, everybody, and we will see you for the rest of it.
Later, folks. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.